be formless, shapeless, like water.
Good evening, everybody. Today is September the 29th. We are reading Robert Greene's The Daily Laws, and I stitched Bruce Lee because he is speaking of the formlessness of water and how we should be like water because it can adapt to the shape of whatever it's placed in. And it's still strong enough to cut through stone and the earth. So be like water. And that gets us to today's title, which is Assume Formlessness. The consummation of forming an army is to arrive at formlessness. Victory in war is not repetitious, but adapts its form endlessly. A military force has no constant formation. Water has no constant shape. The ability to gain victory by changing and adapting according to the opponent is called genius, Sun Tzu. Everything in life depends on the circumstances you're in. That's why the last law in the 48 laws of power is assume formlessness. The idea is that being formless, like water, is the highest form of power and strategy. In that chapter, I contradict my entire book and I essentially say there are no laws. You have to be in the moment. You have to understand the circumstances you're in. Learning to adapt to each new circumstance means seeing events through your own eyes and often ignoring the advice that people constantly peddle your way. It means that ultimately you must throw out the laws that others preach and the books they write to tell you what to do, and the sage advice of the elder. The laws that govern circumstances are abolished by new circumstances, Napoleon wrote, which means that it is up to you to gauge each new situation. Daily law. Accept the fact that nothing is certain and no law or strategy is fixed. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. Robert Greene, Mastery and Research, Finding Mastery Conversations with Michael Gervais, January 25th, 2017. So, I didn't know that this was going to be the topic today. I don't read ahead. So, I've said this before. All right, so for me, in my situation, I was a military brat. And that means that I lived a lot of places growing up as a child. I never really considered any place really home. So you have to adapt when you're a military brat. So every time you start making friends and you get comfortable, change comes when you walk in the door and your family is packing and nobody tells you what's going on and you're like, we're moving again. And then you have to make new friends, which makes you also kind of like a chameleon because you can fit in everywhere, or like water because you can assume formlessness and you learn to change and adapt. Your accent becomes different. You because you want to fit in, you want to make new friends, so you learn, the terms of the words that people say in certain areas. I don't even think you notice you're doing it. You just pick it up. If you start hanging around somebody a long time, you'll pick up the accents and all of that. So anyway, I used to hate it when I was a kid that I had to change and be this way, the way that I still am. But I found my niche as I got older, to be able to adapt to things and to be flexible and to assume formlessness. So it's helped me. But I always think of how strong water is. It can divide whole countries. So it's really something to be like. So anyways, come and join me again and we'll do it tomorrow. Good night.